Welcome to Hack the File. This is Michael Lopez, and we're going to be doing video 3 on ethical hacking, a hands-on introduction to breaking in the book. Now, if you don't have the book, okay, I just thought about this. If you don't have the book, what you can do is you can just pause the video where it has like the links that I'm clicking on, because I'm showing you the book, so all you need is the links, right? Or you can even Google where to download Linux, where to download Metasploitable, where to download VirtualBox. So that's not the hard part, So you don't even need to buy the book, basically. I mean, I would, so you can go through and do it yourself at the same time. But like I said, if you don't have the book, which is fine, you can follow these videos and just like pause it and just type in the HTTPS link, and I mean, it's as simple as that. Directory, right? So this is the Metasploitable download. So we've already downloaded the PF which sucked, and I hope I downloaded it right. I really don't know. We'll find out when we when we start doing like hacks and stuff like that. And that's coming up. There's just Metasploitable and Linux to go. So this one's going to be a quick video on Metasploitable, right? And remember, I'm going to read this and it'll explain to you what it is. But I actually downloaded and unzipped the files already, since you guys already know how to do that. Okay, I showed you before how to unzip a file and how to download the file from the website. So I'm not going to do that. I already did that. Also, I'm going to admit something here. I already ran through it because I was excited, and I ran through a lot of problems in this. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, I've been doing it for the last couple hours, and my channel is about troubleshooting and stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do it over again, and I'm gonna show you all the problems that it had, and I'm gonna show you what I did to solve it. Right? So that way you get an idea of how to troubleshoot this stuff, instead of like going through it and then quitting because you can't get it to work, and just going, never mind, there goes my dreams of hacking. So man, sorry. So yeah, so it's so yeah, this one sucked. This one sucked too. But I'm gonna show you how I figured out how to get it to run. So here we go. So setting up Metasploitable. The Metasploitable virtual machine is a Linux server that has been intentionally designed to be vulnerable. That's why it's called Metasploitable, because you can exploit it, right? It's the machine that we hack throughout this book. But before we do so, we need to prevent other people from accessing this machine. To do that, we'll connect it to our internet and to our internal network, which is protected by the PF firewall. The following steps outline how to obtain the virtual machine. Download Metasploitable virtual machine from source. Okay, so this is the source, right? HTTPS sourceforge.net projects Metasploitable. Put that in your URL address right up at the top, so you guys know where that goes. Okay, I'm not gonna I mean, we're not okay. So and then this is where you're gonna do it. So I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna show you excuse me what it looks like. Right, so this is the Metasploitable website, and then you're gonna download this. So they're using Metasploitable too, so you're gonna download it the same way we do everything else, right? Alright, I've already done that. So although the newer versions of Metasploitable are available, we'll use version 2 because it's easier to set up. So then you come here and it says unzip the Metasploitable file. We already did that. Launch VirtualBox and click new button. So we're going to do that. So here's my pfSense. It's still running, right? I don't know if you have to leave it running, but I'm leaving it running, right? So it says click new. Okay, so we're gonna click the new button, right? Because we're gonna add a new machine, and it says call it Metasploitable. So we've done this, right? Metasploitable. We'll call it Metasploitable, and I'm not putting it there. I'm putting it here. So there's one already here, right? So I'm gonna have to delete that, I think. So, because like I said, I've already done this. All right, so there's no ISO image. All right, so name the Metasploitable. Its type is Linux. So Metasploitable is a Linux operating system. Okay. And then it says, and its version uses Ubuntu 64-bit. So version, we're gonna come all the way down to U, Ubuntu 64-bit, right? It's the first. It's like the second one, right? When you get in T, you get in the U's, Ubuntu 34, Ubuntu 64, and you got all these other stuff, and you can mess with all this stuff if you want, right? But for this, they want Ubuntu 64-bit. Okay, and then click continue. So we're gonna go to next. Now I'm gonna show you something here. Okay. Okay. So I've got to go there and delete that since I already had it. All right. So what's happening is I've done it before. So in my destination, I've already got a Metasploitable folder. Okay. So it's not letting me do it because it's already got one. So now I deleted it out of my where I'm putting it right here. I just deleted it out of there because it just creates a folder called Metasploitable and then throws the VM in it. So it won't do it because there's one already. So now it'll do it. Okay. Select an existing virtual hard disk. So, I'm sorry, hold on. On the memory size, use the suggested memory amount. So this is the suggested memory amount because it's already in there. I'm going to leave it like that. When prompted to choose hard disk, select using a virtual hard disk file. So I'm going to use. Okay, so here I'm gonna do this the way I did it the first time, the way it shows in the book, because in the book it doesn't say anything about CPUs or nothing, right? And this is where I guess the value of my channel comes in, because I'm going to show you how I troubleshot this, and it's not going to work. Watch. So so the memory says, okay, using it. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next. Okay, and it says use an existing virtual hard disk file. So we're going to go here, using this hard, and we're not going to use the pfSense one, right? Because that's for the other firewall. And this is what you get. See, there's nothing here, right? pfSense. So we're gonna go add, and we're gonna go to that file that I downloaded, right? And it's not. This is the one we created to put the VM in. This is the one that we unzipped, right? Got down from the website, right? We're gonna go here, and this is gonna be the memory, the Metasploitable virtual disk format, right? The memory. So we're gonna open that. It's a VMDK file, right? That's what it says. It says use existing virtual hard disk file. Click the folder icon, browse your unzip Metasploitable download that we unzipped. Select the file with the extension .vmdk. There it is, .vmdk, and click create. Now we're going to create this, right? So we're attaching this, and there's it's going to be its hard disk. It's going to be that virtual hard disk that we downloaded. So you're let me get some water. Okay, so now so everything looks good, right? This is, we followed it to a T. It didn't say anything about CPU, nothing. So we're gonna finish. We've created it. Here's your Metasploitable, right? Now it says click on the folder icon. I'm sorry. To configure the Metasploitable machine network settings, right click. So we're just gonna go to settings here. We're gonna right click. Settings is up there, and then we're gonna go to your network again, right? Right click the Metasploitable machine from your list of machines on the left and select settings. Okay, navigate network tab. Under adapter 1, select the enable adapter checkbox, right? Select internal network we created earlier, the internal LAN in the attached drop down menu as shown. So it's going to show a figure right here, right? So we're going to go to internal network and then internal LAN, and it's got one other one on there. I don't know. I forgot to delete that or something. So now we're going to see. So that's what it looks like, right? That's what we did. Internal network, adapter 1 network, internal LAN. So this is connecting to our internal network. Okay, open the Metasploitable virtual machine in the virtual box and wait for the terminal to finish loading. It should display the Metasploitable logo. And this is just talking about how you get locked into the machine, right? With the click. So it's supposed to show this, right? Login using the MSF admin, right? Because it's Metasploitable admin. And then the next one is Kali Linux. Okay, so seems quick, seems easy, right? And we're like, oh yeah, that's gonna work, you know. Let's see. So now let's go here. That's great. All right, now it says start it. So there's a start button right here. You don't have to double click on this, right? There's a start button right there. So you press the start button, it starts your Metasploitable, and this is what I did, and this is how I troubleshot it. Okay, and this is why I'm going to show you guys this. Now I would have did this live, but I would have did this live with you guys, but I got too excited. You know, I was like, man, I want to check it out, and the next one I'll do live, the Linux. But I'm running through all the things that happen, so because I'm literally just following the book. Now we'll. Okay, so this is what happened with the Metasploitable machine when I ran it. See, and it doesn't work. So it says kernel panic, not syncing, attempted to kill the idle task. Okay, and so what I did was is I typed that in. Okay, and so I typed in kernel panic because I don't know what that means, right? It's not working, and I'm like, why is that not working? So I just typed in kernel panic, not syncing, attempt to kill idle task. And the first thing I get is, I'm looking through and I click on like let me show you what it is. So I'm come over here now. So this is what I typed in. All right. So I go through here. It says the kernel panic, not syncing error can happen for various reasons. One of which may be due to buffering, not being flushed, and all this crap, right? So then I click on here. And I'm reading it. And I read through this, and I'm like, none of this makes sense because this is not on a virtual machine. This is, I think this is showing me for a PC, right? So I typed in that kernel panic, not seeking Metasploit on VM. And this, so okay, somebody solved it right here, right? Something I'm reading. Oh, it's the same one. Okay. So look, see, so he has the same picture, right? And I read through this. Excuse me. Okay, so look, this guy's had the same exact error, except he's running Oracle, right? But that doesn't matter. He had the same exact error. Kernel panic, not seeking. Okay, so I got, he asked the same question. He's explaining here. So this is ASP Ubuntu. There's a Stack Overflow and all that crap. Or what is it called? Stack Overflow. Okay, yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of different forums where people have answered questions, right? And I went through here, and this guy says, yeah, I did the same thing, and this is what I did. I changed the processor count to 2, if 1, and then I enabled the motherboard. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I was like, all right, let me do that. So, right, so I was like, all right, let me restart this. So I'm gonna power this off. And I'm gonna go here, go to settings. And I'm gonna give me one more processor. So system processor. I'm gonna give me one more over here. So 2, right? 2. Okay. Now I'm gonna start this, and I was like, all right. Hopefully this fixes it. So when you run into problems like that, read what the error is, type in the error, see if somebody else had the same problem, right? That's common sense. That's, common sense and troubleshooting. I mean, and if you're in the IT field or programming and stuff, you're gonna do that a hell of a lot, because a lot of people run into problems and with all with all this type of stuff, and a lot of people solved it. All right, so this is the second problem I got, right? So starting up. Now this one is actually giving you some instructions on what to do or what happens. So this one says kernel panic, right? Again, because something's going on with the kernel, which is basically, if you guys, is the heart of it, right? So it's not syncing, and it says the IO APIC plus timer doesn't work. Okay, I don't know what the heck that means. And but this one actually says boot, and there's a W right there. Boot with APEC equals debug, and send a report. Then try booting with the Neopic option. Okay, so I'm reading this and I'm like, what the heck is APEC debug? Send report. I ain't gonna send a report, right? I'm gonna boot it with APEC debug and then send report. I'm not gonna do like some stuff for them, right? I don't know what this all meant. But then it says, then try booting with Neopic option. Okay, so what I did is I kept looking, right? And I found this video, or I typed in Neopic option, and let me go to my downloads. I downloaded this video, right? So I found this video, and this one's called Metasploit. Oh, wait. Now another resource to use is YouTube, right? So so I found this video, right? Metasploitable 2 kernel panic not seeking AO APEC error solution, right? VirtualBox. So this guy had the same problem and he fixed it, right? So I found this by going into YouTube and putting in AOPIC or whatever. And so this guy runs through and he figured out what was wrong with it or something, right? And so he fixed it. So this is how he did it, right? So you close. Instead of watching the video, I'm just gonna do what he did, right? So he did make two processors. So I left that two processors on there, right? Then he starts it. Okay, and while this is starting, I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna get into the options, into the menu, right? Oh crap! So it literally says on there, I messed it up fast, but it literally says on there, press escape to enter in boot options, right? While it's booting, and it gives you like 3 seconds to do it before it tries to boot. So he went to this right here, this kernel, right? And see, you got to read this. Use the up and down keys to select, right? Oh crap, we got to go into this. So I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go down, and then it says press enter to boot the selected OS. Press E to edit the commands before booting, or C for command line. So the E edit command. So I'm going to click on this. Actually, I'm going to press E, right? Because I want to edit this kernel. So, and then I'm going to press E again. Now I'm going to type in. It was that Neopic, right? So Neopic. That's what it was called, right? Neopic. Let me make sure. So I'm gonna go back here. Go back to my downloads. And it was Neopic. Oh crap! I gotta make sure because I don't want to type this 3 times. Excuse me. Yeah, it's Neopic. Okay, so Neopic. Press return. Now we're gonna boot it with Neopic, right? So then we're gonna go to this kernel. Edit. Splash space. Neopic. Now that one's changed. And then we're gonna reboot it. Remember, because it said reboot it, so press B. Now it said press B to reboot on the instructions. So when you're in this field, you got to do a lot of reading. Reading of instructions, reading of errors, and all that stuff, right? Did I do that wrong? So maybe I spelled it wrong. Yeah, that didn't work again, so I did something wrong. So we're gonna do it again. So I'm gonna restart it. Okay. And then I'm gonna do it again. Neopic. Oh, I didn't reboot it with the Neopic. Alright, so I'm gonna start this again and we're gonna do it one more time. Alright, so I'm gonna edit the Ubuntu Neopic down, edit space Neopic. return. Now I didn't go up. I just try to do that one. I gotta go back up to root and then press B and see. See where it says use up and down to select which entry is highlighted. See, press B to boot. So I got to boot Neopic. It said, remember? So here I go. I'm gonna boot and let's see if it fixed it. Right, it should boot up normal now and give me my Metasploit. Maybe I didn't do it right. Yeah, that didn't work again. So that. What am I doing wrong? Let me see. Alright, let's try this again, man. I don't know. Try it one more time. What the heck is my thing? Alright, we're gonna try this one more time. It's two processors. Start. All right. Oh crap. Gosh. That's funny. Still having problems. Oh, I think I could just boot this again, can I? No, I can't. It's crap. Man. Alright. Okay, so let me come in here. I need to edit. Let me make sure that this guy, let me see what this guy did on his video. Alright. You gotta put a space right there. So space. I'm spelling it wrong. It's Neopic. It's Noapic. I was putting Neopic. Oh man, I'm telling you. And let's see if that. Let's see if that works. Alright, there you go. That's working. So it helps if you spell it right? So if you spell it right, you might be all right. So that's one of the common mistakes. It's alright, there I'm logged in. So that crap. So Metasploit needed to do some troubleshooting. Alright, I got cut off on the minutes. Okay, so the Metasploitable needed some troubleshooting, right? Well, what's going on? Okay, so before you get out of this VM, you're gonna file, close, and you're gonna put this to save the machine's state. That way you don't have to keep doing that every time you go back in. Leave it at that, right? Press OK. So it saves the state that you saved it in, right? Now I'm gonna reopen this and it should just boot up. There you go. And it actually booted up and logged me in, so that's even better. You might have to keep it on that save the last state for this to work, unless you want to keep booting this up in NoAPI or NoAPIC, whatever it's called. So there you go. Now I'm just gonna minimize this, okay? Cause I got them both running. It's all right. It ain't gonna kill. I've got a good computer. Okay, so now it says do all that, okay? And it says that you're supposed to get this, and it says log in using username msfadmin and password msfadmin. This is the default password for Metasploit, okay? Metasploitable, Metasploit. It's usually msfadmin for the username and msfadmin for the password. Just remember that. If you don't know, now you know. So there you go. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I did, right? So that's Metasploiter. Now we got two down. We've got two down and one more to go, and that's the Linux. We're going to set up the Linux machine. And that's going to be the next video. I'm going to do 2 videos a week. So Linux, I promise I won't jump ahead and mess with it, because I'm pretty satisfied with just setting these 2 up, or Metasploitable. But the Linux machine is going to be your hacker's toolkit, okay? And so we're going to use the Linux VM machine to hack into the Metasploitable, right? Because the Metasploitable, it's going to have a lot of vulnerabilities that we can exploit to give us practice, right? But in the real world, it's not going to be like that. But you might hit on something, right? Your pfSense is your firewall. It's going to protect. And we can even go back to that diagram, which is pretty cool, because that's why I like reading books and doing stuff like this. Because if you go back to this diagram, right, this is what we set up the pfSense firewall, right? This is your virtual network inside my virtual box. So now I can actually show you what we're doing, right? And then it makes more sense. So this little virtual box manager, it's got these things running, and they're actually connected through my Wi-Fi, right? So they can access Wi-Fi, but they're connected to each other, right? And this is what we're gonna set up right now. These 3 things. So the pfSense, we hooked up the internet to it through my internet. Okay, and then the LAN is your internal. So let's look at this and go to settings. So I attached it to the internal network. No, I'm sorry. Attached to bridged adapter, right? So I attached it to my Wi-Fi. Okay, and then I'm going to use that to connect. So my second adapter I'm gonna set up a internal LAN with it, right? That's how I see it, right? I mean, that's how it works. Then, so through my Wi-Fi and my real Wi-Fi, I set up a VM Wi-Fi, boom, internal network called LAN. That's gonna connect all these. So your Metasploitable um, is this Ubuntu desktop. So we just set this one up and this one, and your network. It now this one is connected to the LAN to the bridge to the internal network. So this is connected to this to this. So we just connected these two up, right? Remember, this is a firewall, protects. It's the first line of defense. Next, we're going to do the Kali Linux. That's how that works, and it's all in this little virtual box. Okay, it's not all. I mean, man, I don't want to get into all the philosophical on it, but anyways. So now we're going to finish this little section in 4 or 5 videos. Then later on in the book, then we're going to start hacking this. We're going to start hacking this with this. Okay, and this is the hackers. This is my box. And then later on, we're going to get into this Metasploitable server. We're going to set this. We're going to have to set this up, and then we're going to have to set this up and connect it to all this too. So, just shows you a little example. It was pretty cool. So we'll go back, and we're not even done setting up this environment because there's so much troubleshooting, and that's why a lot of people quit doing hacking or quit trying to set up their own environment or something like that, going off of books, right? Or and when you're in school, you basically run through all this stuff, and if you can't figure it out, you ask the teacher, and then your teacher basically is like me or something, right? It's like trying to troubleshoot it and go, all right. So theoretically, your teacher should have experience doing this, right? And it has had a lot of problems troubleshooting. So when its students can't figure out, then the teacher goes, "Oh, okay. Did you check this? Did you check this? And add another processor, do this or whatever, right?" And but students don't know when you're first learning. You have no clue. You're probably like, "I have no clue." So you're gonna ask the teacher. But this is how you troubleshoot all that, right? And I still don't even know if I set this up right. I'm sure I did. So then next is the Kali Linux, and that's going to be the last of this little thing, and then we're going to start hacking, and then we're going to come to a lot of troubleshooting problems in that one. But theoretically, if we get through this series and we get through this book, and we would have troubleshot through everything, I mean, stuff might go smoothly, other stuff might not. But if we troubleshoot it and we get through it and it actually works and we know what we're doing, that's a great benefit, right? That's a great experience that you have actually, setting up your own environment and then hacking into your PF Sense and stuff like that. So you'll know how it's connected, you'll know how it works, you have some VM experience on how to set up stuff, and you'll do a ton of troubleshooting through this whole damn book, I'm sure of it, just to get everything to work. And I'm gonna try to get everything to work, right? Because that's the whole point of this. I don't want to just skip stuff that doesn't work. I can't get it to run, I'll skip that one. You don't want to do that, because then you're not learning, right? And you're not learning. The most important thing is troubleshooting, how to get it to work and how to play with things to get things to work. And just test it yourself and be creative in your own way, right? But there's some stuff that I might skip because it's just stupid, right? I'm like, I don't want to do that, so it's just boring, or I don't want to, so I'll skip it. But not because I couldn't figure it out. It's not worth it, right? If I've already done something similar, I'm going to skip it, right? If it's just redundant crap. And that's what my plan is. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. And we're going to set up on the next video, we're going to set up our hacker attack box, okay? And for you new hackers that don't know what that is, it's the Kali Linux Toolbox. I would recommend watching this next video. It's going to be awesome because then you can understand how hackers are hacking and what they're using, what tools they're using, what environments they're using, Linux and all that stuff. And if you're new to hacking, or even if you're interested in it and you're curious, which is more of my demographic, right? This videos are for intermediate level people that kind of know how to, they've been in the industry and they know how to use a computer and whatnot, and they're pretty smart, whatever. But they're curious about how do these hackers do it and stuff like that. So, or if you're getting a degree like I am, and you're like, oh, and you're already studying it, that's even better because the first time I went, the first time I went through this stuff on my own, I had to ask the teacher and stuff, and how do I do this and what's going on, and that was like 3 years ago. And more and more time, I started figuring it out myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, I understand how this works and stuff like that. So maybe this video would be good for basic people too. So if you can follow along and stuff like that. So all right, that was Hack the File. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had fun. See you next time.